There we go. We'll call the City Council meeting to order on Tuesday, January 8th, 2019. Roll call.
Councillor Lehman.
Here.
Councillor Milich.
Here.
Councillor Kuechly.
Here.
Mayor Claridge.
Here. Okay, we'll now all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Didn't do that since 3rd grade.
Okay. Reports from departments heads. Well, it looks like we only have one person here. You're it. We'll hear from Public Works. Welcome to the meeting.
Thanks. We had a couple water breaks. One over near Dubid and then one behind Paul's Alley. And both were curb stops, so just the shutoffs to the water services. We had Joel and Stop coming in and fix those issues. And then otherwise we've been doing a lot of plowing lately. And a lot of snow removal, trying to clean up and make room for the next snow to come.
We have been lucky on months of snow and cold weather, so. Anything else?
That's it.
Any questions from council members? Anything?
Them curb stops, were they just the valves itself started leaking or what?
Just kind of what happens, and it'd be good practice for everyone not to park on them or drive on them if they can. A lot of them are buried, so it's hard to tell, but sometimes if you're just going over, especially during the winter, you're moving it and it'll break off over time. Actually, the one at Dubid, that one's actually probably been broke for quite some time. I couldn't tell you exactly how long, but it actually there was some spray coming out. You could see on the brass that was all worn away and smoothed off. So it had been broken for a long time, but it finally just completely gave way and started bubbling up to the surface.
It's not because of frost though.
No, it's hard to, well, maybe, but I think they don't happen too often. And I think it's really just people driving over the top of them. And sometimes they could heave up from the frost and then someone drive over it and just causes more movement within the standpipe.
Okay, well thank you for your report. Okay, we'll move on to number 5, additions to the agenda. Ryan, do you have anything?
I was just going to mention quickly that the sheriffs will be using the school again, I believe, on Wednesday. So if you get any calls, they're up there doing training. And just also CDBG presentation start tomorrow, and then the following week, again, we're asking for $150,000 to go to our overall capital improvement project, which we're waiting to submit because we can't submit it now because of the government shutdown, because USDA is shut down at the moment. So once they're back up and running, we'll get that submitted and we'll go from there.
And one thing for the council and for the public, I got elected to the CBGD committee, so I will be hearing that and voting on that of all the recommendations coming. And I couldn't believe how many different recommendations they have from throughout the St. Louis County. But so I know Ryan's presenting tomorrow afternoon, and I will be on that committee. So just for information. I don't believe there's anybody signed up for the citizens forum, so we'll move on from that. Okay, the consent agenda. And before I ask for a motion on that, I'll just go through that so that the public can hear what it is. And just to refer, this is item number 7. 7A is approval of the regular city council meeting minutes of December 18th, 2018. And then 7B are the claims. Roman numeral I. Payroll number 26, $11,256.45. The next item is the December 2018 payroll, $3,825. Payroll 1201 is $1,720. Payroll number 1, 2019, $12,101.20. Payroll 1.01, 2019 is $861.01. And AP is $23,609.35 for a total of $53,373.01. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, do you want that all in one motion or?
Well, all in one, please. Can I?
Yes, we can do it all in one.
I'd like to get it done.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll support.
And support. Further comment or discussion? This isn't a resolution, so all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Okay, moving to the business portion. Resolution appointing the Mayor Pro Tem. The recommendation is for Councilman Stuart Lehman. Is there a motion?
We'll make a motion to approve resolution 19-01, appointing Stuart Lehman as Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll second it.
And then there's support. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, clerk take the roll. It's a resolution.
Councilor Lehman.
Yes.
Councilor Milich.
Yes.
Councilor Kuechly.
Yes.
Mayor Clarich.
Yes. Congratulations, Stuart.
Just don't be done.
Take over the meeting.
Congratulations.
Okay, we'll go on to the next one. B on there, a resolution naming the official newspaper for the city. The recommendation is for the Hometown Focus, as they were they're the lowest cost. I would entertain a motion to approve the Hometown Focus as our official newspaper for the city of Buhl.
I'll make a motion on that.
Okay, moved by Councilor Lehman.
Support.
Support by Councilor Kuechly. Comments? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying it. Would you have something?
I was just gonna say, the only reason we went with Mesabi Daily before is because it wasn't published all the time or whatever. It was only weekly.
Okay.
And then, then we have some problems like when we are.
Yeah. I mean, basically, the reason for the switch to the Hometown Focus is, number one, they're a lot cheaper in publishing ordinances. I mean, we don't do a ton of them, and they are weekly, and plus they do deliver their editions to City Hall, to various locations in town, and the Mesabi Daily News really didn't reach out during the 2018 election to touch base with any of the Buhl candidates, so that was my recommendation why I go with Hometown.
I've worked with Hometown Focus for many years, part of the school district, so, and been very satisfied with their services, so. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, resolution? Did we do that vote? We just need the vote now?
Yeah, well, roll call, so.
Okay.
Councilor Lehman?
Yes.
Councilor Milich?
Yes.
Councilor Kuechly?
Yes.
Mayor Clarich?
Yes. Okay, on to resolution C. Resolution designating depositories of funds and accepting assignment of collateral. Let me get to that here real quick. Because there's a list that I want to get in here. And, okay, the resolution is going to be for the First National Bank of Buhl, Municipal Investor Service Corporation, the 4M Fund, and BNY Clearing Services, LLC, a Bank of New York company, BNY, through Northland Securities, NSI, and any BNI or NSI affiliates, subsidiary, or successor. So, is there a motion to approve those groups for our funding? Moved by Stuart. Is there support?
I support.
Support by Jim Milich. Further comment? I'll give you time now, Stuart. So, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Same sign. Motion is carried.
Councilor Lehman?
Yes.
Councilor Milich?
Yes.
Councilor Kuechly?
Yes.
Mayor Clarich?
Yes. Okay, let me get caught up here. I'm used to all these. It's a different style I'm used to. So now we'll move on to Resolution 19-04, a resolution authorizing the mayor and the clerk treasurer to sign certificates of indebtedness on behalf of the city. And that is for myself and Ryan. Is there a motion to approve?
I would make a motion to approve resolution 19-04.
Is there support?
I support.
Further comment or discussion? This is standard operating procedure, so.
Correct.
Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the, we'll vote on it. Go ahead.
Councilor Lehman?
Yes.
Councilor Milich?
Yes.
Councilor Kuechly?
Yes.
Mayor Clarich?
Yes. Okay, now we'll go to 1905. And this is to appoint oh boy. The rest, naming the Mayor John Clarich and Councilman John Marcus as the official weed inspectors for the city.
Now, this is referencing blight, correct?
Yes, it does.
Yes, and
No.
blight also.
Per se, there is no blight ordinance. And when I was looking in that ordinance book, under Chapter 92 nuisances in the ordinance book is basically what this covers, correct? And there's
I would
a lot
assume
of them.
Yeah. We've been starting last year, I mean, the city's passed numerous ordinances to address these concerns, and we're now able to give tickets and stuff like that. So, but yes, that's what this addresses.
And that's been published twice to the community, correct?
Correct.
Through the
It's
local
been
paper.
published legally how we have to, and
Okay.
plus it's been published in a newsletter.
Okay, so that, it's not only weed inspector, but it's all the blight issues that go with that, of that long list that were in those ordinances, so. Just so the public is clear and we're clear.
There's quite a few of them when I was looking at, yeah.
Also move on the motion.
Okay, is there support?
Yeah.
Okay, it's moved and supported. All those in favor, Ryan, would you take attendance, or the roll, please?
Counselor Lehman?
Yep.
Counselor Milich?
Yes.
Counselor Kuechly?
Yes.
Mayor Clarich?
Yes. Now we'll move on to Resolution 19-06. The resolution names Foreman Pink as the city's Elm Tree Board representative.
Now, is this mandated by the state of Minnesota?
Yes, it is.
And this references back to this Dutch elm disease?
Yeah. And just speaking with Foreman Pink, it's the group he meets with, I mean, it's usually not elected officials, it's people who are on the ground doing the work within the city. So that's the reason for Foreman Pink being named named as the representative.
Okay.
You also get like equipment from them, don't we? Use this
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah, it's for, they got augers and like the brush cutting that we did, we used their ASP, 'cause it's on tracks, and had the brush cutter, and then there's various other attachments that we use
Okay.
geared towards trees.
Is there a motion?
I'd make the motion
Okay.
to approve resolution 19-06.
Is there support?
I support.
Okay, Ryan, would you take the roll, please?
Counselor Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Milich?
Yes.
Counselor Kuechly?
Yes.
Mayor Clarich?
Yes. Okay. Moving on to 19-07, a resolution appointing the city attorney / prosecuting attorney for the city of Buhl, and the recommendation is for Mike Carney as the attorney. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there support?
Support.
Let's have some discussion if there is any at this time. Anybody have any comments,
Tim's
questions?
a good guy.
I think Mike does
Or
a
Mike.
good job.
Mike's been a good guy. He's done it for a long time.
And we're in the middle of that transition with a lot of, some of these ordinances now are just finishing up, and we're moving forward with some things, so he has the expertise of what we wanted, right?
The only thing that been kind of slow on some stuff, but
Yeah, and we've had discussions about that, so hopefully going forward, I know he's still working on the parking ticket thing that we want to get in place rather soon, so.
Yeah, we should fast track that.
Yeah, I agree.
We're right in the middle of winter right now, and I have noticed there are some cars with some pretty big windrows around them, so, and they're gonna have to be towed, and I just hope the public's on top of it.
Our law enforcement, don't they hand out the tickets when they're riding around at the calendar parking from, what is it, November 1st to April 1st? If there's an issue with that, they don't ticket?
The sheriffs will not ticket for us, no,
Really?
no.
Is that a service we'd have to pay for if we wanted them to do that?
Yes.
Additional cost, I mean?
Yeah.
But we're working with the city of Chisholm at this time
Yeah.
right now. I'm taking tickets and then,
Yeah.
okay.
you can write tickets or.
I can write administrative fines. The trouble with doing like fines for someone having, a bunch of garbage in your yard compared to parking tickets, okay, I can only send them a letter. That's the only way I have authority right now to do anything, while how many people don't check their mailboxes for 2 months and the problem is not solved when the vehicle moves. So that's what hopefully these parking tickets will alleviate because Chisholm will be able to process them and, fine them through the system.
And once again, we're still right in the middle of winter, and I've seen a few places in town where there's some people that are really plowed in there, and if we get a major snowstorm, that's going to create a lot of havoc for our city workers, and they're backed up against a wall with some of the stuff, the way it goes now anyway. So anything we can do to help them would be great. So we had a motion and support already, right? Or no?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, roll call.
Councillor Lehman?
Yes.
Councillor Milich?
Yes.
Councillor Kuechly?
Yes.
Mayor Clarich?
Yes. Okay. Resolution 19-08, authorizing the mayor and the clerk to sign disbursements of public funds on behalf of the city, which I believe is routine in our duties. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 19-08?
I will make that motion.
Is there support?
I'll support. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All yours, Ryan, whichever you want. Please take the roll, Ryan.
Councillor Lehman?
Yes.
Councillor Milich?
Yes.
Councillor Kuechly?
Yes.
Mayor Clarich?
Yes. Okay, Resolution 19-09. This resolution appoints JPJ as the city's engineer, who we've had for quite a few years now, and I think is doing it.
Who is that? Who is JPJ?
John Jamnick.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, I've heard of him then. Yeah.
right, I've worked with him many, many years ago when I was in Nashville, so.
Been here a long time and does a good job.
And Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, he presents with you now at the block grant.
For the CDBG, correct. And John's put a lot of time and energy into basically developing and updating our 5-year capital improvement plan for the projects that we're going after. So it's...
And in reviewing all of the proposals coming forward to the block grant tomorrow, he's involved with quite a few other cities in doing this. So he's pretty well experienced on that, and we have a lot of issues that we want and we have here and we will have in the future. So is there a motion to approve JPJ as the city's engineer?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Lehman. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Kuechly. All those in favor of the motion, Ryan, please take the roll.
Councillor Lehman?
Yes.
Councillor Milich?
Yes.
Councillor Kuechly?
Yes.
Mayor Clarich?
Yes. Okay, now we'll move on to the library board appointment. And the recommendation is for Cindy Devich to be appointed to the library board. Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Okay, motion by Milich. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Kuechly. Further discussion? Hearing none. Ryan, would you take the roll?
No roll call needed.
No
for
roll
this,
call.
Mayor.
Oh, all those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. You got me on a roll there. Get back to this. Okay, next we're on to long-range planning and zoning appointments. And the recommendation is for Councilman John Marcus to stay on, continuing for another year, and Gary Ross, the Long Range Planning and Zoning Board. Is there a motion to approve these two gentlemen?
I make a motion to approve them.
Okay, motion by Lehman, support by Milich. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that Gary and Johnny have been on the board for a while, and they have good recommendations, and
Okay.
glad to have them.
Well, that's great then. Once again, all those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. We'll now move on to the Personnel Committee appointments. And the recommendation is for Mayor Clarich, Councilor Marcus, and Clerk Pervenanzi to represent the city on the Personnel Committee. Is there a motion to support that?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Lehman.
Support.
Support by Kuechly. Further comment or discussion? I gotta give you time to talk, Stuart, so I apologize, kind of rushed through that. Okay. Hearing nothing further, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. The next one is Utility Board appointments. And the recommendation And the motion will be to appoint Councillor Milich, Councillor Marcus, Foreman Pink, and Clerk Pervenanzi to the Utility Board. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'm going to support that because I've got to support something on here and take some of the pressure off you, Paul. Jim, you shouldn't vote for yourself, so.
Yeah, never vote for yourself.
Comment, question? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. We'll move on. Two, Range Association of Municipalities and Schools annual dues. And the dues are $700 per year. Is there a motion to support this?
I'd make the motion to approve the 2019 Rams dues.
Okay, is there support?
I support.
And support. Any comments, Stuart? Anything from you? You serve on the Rams board for us?
Yeah, I've been serving on the board for the last 4 years almost. And very good board. Does a lot of stuff for the range from Ely, Babbitt to Crosby, Ironton. This year, one of the things that they're helping us out with the school trends, whatever, ownership or whatever, people moving in. So it's on to be on their legislative agenda. So it's one thing that's going to be helping out people.
Well, I've served on the Rams board for over 20 years in the past, and we have an excellent director in Steve Georgie, and their lobbyist is Gary Sukvenik, who we are going to be using in working forward with the project with the Buhl School. So
Very smart guys.
yeah, they're good and they're effective at what they do. So, is there a motion to approve the 2019 Rams dues of $700?
Yes.
Motion by Keekly. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Milich. Any further comment? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Okay, now we got to go to seasonal employee. Let me just catch up with everything here. I think we'll take this as two separate motions. And what we're looking at is we're going to need some temporary season employees towards the end of the month. And the first motion is to hire Tony Cussler as a seasonal worker on an on-call basis at a rate of $21.80 per hour, pending the completion of a new hire paperwork and a drug test. Is there a motion?
Also move on the motion.
Is there support?
Support.
And support. Further discussion?
I think Tony probably knows the ropes. That's, you know.
We're going to be
able
short
step
one
in.
employee for a few weeks, and so we just need to, this time of the year, I think it's crucial that we make sure that we have a backup, and Tony did an excellent job, I believe, when he was working for the city before, so he's walking in without needing any training, or knows pretty much what the routines are and what the routes are, so.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
this is just an on-call. This is when he needs.
Correct.
When we, yeah, it's not a it's as needed.
It's an as
Mostly
needed
for-
on-call basis.
Okay.
Issues that may come up that we need more than we'll be down to the two-man crew.
Thank you.
Okay, further comment? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign, motion's carried. Okay, number 2, this motion is just in case, and it's to authorize the clerk to contract out snow removal services in the case of an emergency. Let's say we're going to be down one person, but let's say if we're down another person, we get a major snowstorm, we may need some assistance in taking care of parts of the city. What, I don't know. The person in charge would probably make assignments as to what has to get done and coordinate that with the current workers that we will have, along with the company that we decide to bring in. So this is just for an emergency in case we have it, and it could happen. We don't know. We've been pretty fortunate so far this year. So further, is there? Let's see. Did we do a motion yet? I don't even know. No. Is there a motion to support this? I will move it to get it started. Is there support?
Yeah, I support it.
Okay. Discussion.
Are we gonna look for bids or?
No, basically, this is just kind of an emergency action in case, just because one of the foremen will be gone for roughly 6 weeks, and in the case that something happens and we're down to one guy trying to clean up 12 inches of snow, this just authorizes me to, under my discretion to go out if in the case of emergency. I don't anticipate we'll need it, but.
And we have the legal right to
correct.
Bid or to contract for these services. We do not have to go out for bid or a quote.
It's just a backup plan in case something happens, all it is.
What about in the event of a piece of equipment goes down? Something major?
Same thing. It would be any assistance that I think we as a city would need to get these roads opened up. Though, the last storm, we had some people, they just couldn't maneuver very well, but we want to make sure that we're on top of that.
Huh?
Any further comment or discussion? Stuart, it seems like you're thinking there. It's lots to ponder. I mean,
it's without a contractor, having a contract.
We'd have to make sure they're bonded and everything. I mean, that would be done,
Right.
At this point, obviously, there's no reason for the city to have a contract. This is just a backup plan to the backup plan in case.
Which would be for the end of January, probably through the first part of March. If I'm
in case
correct.
Dan gets sick or something like that, then.
We should, we could check with St. Louis County too. There's something there too. I think we can have them.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I mean, I never knew of that, so. Who would we contact? Hibbing.
Superintendent is Jerry Van Gilder.
Okay. Well, we'll look into it a little bit. And we have a little cushion here, so.
Could talk to the old superintendent.
Okay. Would that be contractual? They might want us to sign something if we needed them. I'm just wondering. I don't know that. That one's new to me, so.
There's I don't know what you call it, but I know there's work orders for City of Buhl.
Okay.
For the county roads at least, so. Which would be.
Oh, sure, okay.
For Forest, Pennsylvania, Culver.
Well, we can look at all options. We just want to make sure that we are covered.
I can't think of what it's called right now, but there is something that we're part of in a situation where there was a bunch, we're in a tough situation that we're talking about right now, where other cities could come and help us through like mutual aid and stuff.
So it'd be looking like a Great Scott, Chisholm possibly.
Yeah, but then it could also be like, I forget, and like I said, I don't remember, I'll have to look into it to remember what exactly it's called, but it could be even a southern town could come up and bring equipment too.
Okay.
I'd have to, like I said, off the top of my head, I can't remember what it's called right now.
And like I said, hopefully we don't have to use this. I mean, we'll be just fine, but it's better to be prepared.
For anyone, I think would be, if you call them, they're gonna need time to get here.
Yeah.
Or find, have.
Well, what about you? Are you equipped?
I plow.
Huh?
I'm equipped to plow.
Yeah.
Well, that's just something we can,
Yeah.
that's just something, we'll keep all of these options open to us. Hopefully we don't have to use them, but I'd rather be prepared than not. So rather be proactive than reactive on something like this. So, did we take a I can't remember.
Yeah, we have a motion by
Okay.
Mayor Klarich and a
that's what I
support
thought.
by Councilor Milich.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Well, we're moving right along here. Okay, the next one is ordinance 19-01. And this is a motion to approve ordinance 19-1 that authorizes the city to tow a vehicle, trailer, or object that obstructs snow removal. And I think I'll ask for a motion first in support, and then under discussion, I have a couple of questions. Then I want to make sure that we clarify this for the viewing audience out there, and it's also in our minutes, so that everybody kind of knows what we mean by this. I know it's been covered before, but like I said, there's some vehicles still out there from the last storm that are in danger of being towed if we get another storm. So, is there a motion?
I will make the motion to approve ordinance 19-01.
Okay, is there support?
I'll support.
Okay, now let's get into discussion. And now, I just want to make sure so that the public knows, and I'm clear, you know, being new, Jim, you being new, both of you have been around here before. So if it's deemed that it needs to be towed, we don't call them and inform them to move it, it just gets towed. It's their job to have that out of there. Like I said, there's a few vehicles or trailers already buried out there that are obstructing traffic already. And if we were to get even an 8-inch dumping of snow, I think that would really create havoc for the city. And I don't want to see, once again, it's a liability to us, it's a liability to our drivers, and we want to make sure that everything's open so people can go about their own business. So, and that's the main question I had. So any further comments from some of the veterans here, and then from you, Jim?
Have we tried contacting any of them?
We have, and I've reached out to the sheriffs to have them contact, and basically from talking to Lieutenant Akerson, he said we needed to be able to tow these vehicles, we needed something in our books that stated we could do so, because the sheriffs aren't gonna call on towing, and obviously this ordinance is geared towards, I mean, if you drive around, there's a couple of guys who are, it's not for someone who has to park over on the street, and I mean, it's not anything like that. It's those who are constantly violating, and
a few of them I think should be, if they've been talked to, they should probably be towed already.
Well, that was my next question. Are there some that are eligible to be towed as we speak?
Yes, there are.
Okay. And then who makes that call?
I will.
You make the call, okay?
Yeah, with help from obviously the Public Works crew.
Oh yeah, we definitely have to get feedback. I mean, they're the ones that have to plow around this all of the time, and if we start getting that nuisance snow, that keeps building up too. So, okay, any further comments, questions? I just needed some clarification. I think it's pretty clear to me now what's going on, and hopefully the viewing audience will pick up on that. So,
As far as this ordinance that was amended, this 92.18 section E here, basically that's under public nuisance affecting peace and safety. I would think you would want that, like in chapter 72 parking regulations.
Yes, that's a good point.
And then what I would do is then amend calendar parking ordinance 72.07, and the part B above here is pretty much stated in ordinance 72.08, impounding or moving vehicles. If you look at that ordinance, it pretty much says what's right here. So you're amending something that's already there. But if you ever, my point here is if you ever go back and you want to look at this, it'd be a lot easier to find it in parking regulations than in a nuisance regulation.
Good point. Okay. The only reason I had put it under nuisance is because I have had residents come in and saying it's a safety hazard. But I think it's a better place to put it where you.
Just so we have it on the books. That's the main thing you're saying, Jim, right?
Yeah, just a thought that I had on this, because I think if you come back to find it, it's a lot easier to find it because it's a parking violation or parking issue to find it in that area than in this.
Okay.
But that's all I had on that.
Okay. Further comment or question? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. So I guess that's letting everybody in the community know that we're doing that, so.
Don't, do you have to send a letter or publish a letter?
No, not for this one, because they would already have been in constant violation of calendar parking.
But yeah, I was thinking publish in the newspaper.
Yes, I'll have to publish, and then the ordinance would go into effect 10 days, within 10 days.
But starting tomorrow, we can tow those ones that are in violation.
After the 10-day period.
Or 10 days, excuse me, yes, so. Okay, with that, we're going on to Q. Now I'm gonna ask that we substitute something. We're gonna drop union negotiations. We did not receive any comments from AFSCME, so I'm just going to say that I would like to approve the JPJ invoice for $3,000 you had placed on here earlier, and this was part of that process with the government being shut down, correct, Ryan? No.
Correct. This is an invoice from JPJ for his engineering services and preparing the USDA grant application. 3,000 of which will be covered by an IRRB application grant. So just to get the grant from the IRRB, it has to be a 2018 approval. That's why the invoice is dated December 28th. So we just need to get it in the books. And even though the USDA grant isn't submitted yet because no one's there to hit the button.
I'll make a motion that we approve the invoice for JPJ Engineering of $3,000.
Is there support?
I support.
Supported by Milich. Any further discussion? Pretty straightforward.
Was it for 3 or 6?
Well,
It's
actually 6.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The 3,000 would be the city cost. The
Right.
other.
Yeah.
Okay, the total cost 6,000 with the cost of the city of 3,000.
Yep.
Can we amend the motion?
Yep.
Okay, can we amend the motion? Is that okay to you, Paul? Or
I
Jim?
think he is second.
Yeah.
Okay. Further comment? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign, motion is carried. Now, this other part that I put in here is other business, and it's just that if any of the councilors might have anything to say at the end of the meeting that they might want to just inform the public about, or they might have a question thereof, so I'm just going to go right around. We'll switch the way we do that. Stuart, anything?
Nothing much. Looking forward to working with you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, feelings mutual. So far.
And I'm looking forward to working with you too.
Yeah,
perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Likewise.
Anything else, Paul, you want to comment about?
Offhand, I can't think of anything.
Oh, we got zoning and planning next Monday or Wednesday.
Well, I will set a meeting date once we get, because we had to do the appointments and things like that.
Oh, we got a meeting coming up.
Well, it's supposed to be the second Monday,
Oh, yeah, one another. Yeah.
so we'll probably beginning of February, probably.
Okay.
Jim, any comments?
Nothing.
I saved this to last. I've got a few. So. One thing that I did say when I was campaigning, so to speak, is that I would make myself available to the citizenry. And what I'd like to set up is the second meeting of every month. I'm going to come to the city hall at 5:30, and I'll be available till about 6:15 in the office as you come in the side entrance. And I would prefer, try to limit it to 50 minutes per person or per small group, or if it's an angry large group, whatever, we can adjust, or however time, depending if people are interested. But I want to make myself available in the evening. I know a lot of people have to work, and so once a month I think I could do that. And I'm going to set up another one during the work day, so that people that don't want to come at night, don't have to do that in the dark and stuff, especially in the winter. So, and then I will announce when I'm going to do that at the end of one of the next meetings when I get something set up. So I want to take care of that. Then I want to talk about, unfortunately I was a superintendent of schools when the Mesabi Academy closed. So I've been looking at different things to go with that. I know the city's been very aggressive and active in some things, but we did come across late last summer and last fall a group that was basically recruited that would come in that work with children. And it would not be, we do not want to put back in a correctional facility. We want to do something that helps students. So we're working on that right now. And I mentioned Gary Sirkvenik before. He's the lobbyist for Rams. I've been working with him so far. We have already met with all of our local legislators, Representative Sandsted, Senator Tomasoni, Representative Lislagard, County Commissioner Jugovich. We've met with the St. Louis County heads of departments, because we would also have to be in partnership with them. And then we also set up a meeting who ended up being the governor, Governor Walsh. We met with him in Virginia about 2 months ago when he was up here in Virginia campaigning, and presented some ideas about the Buhl School. And it's going to revolve around mental health for kids, just to let everybody know. I'm not going to go too much into further detail. That was mentioned, and that's one of the big issues within the legislature for this coming year. So we've got our foot in the door already. So we've presented our program, what we'd like to do to to our local legislators as well as now Governor Walz. So I think we're a step on there. We're developing some legislation right now that we want to bring, and as that comes forward, I will share that with the citizens of Buhl, with the council, whomever. We may be having to pass some resolutions. We may be having to do some work with that in the near future, but that was one of my main goals in running for mayor. I wanted to put the lights on up at the school and purposed for something that's building was meant to be, and that's for helping youth. Now, not to say it can't be other groups in that too, but that's what it was. It was a school at one time, and I think we found a pretty good partner that's interested in coming in, and it's just a matter of looking for some grant dollars now and getting an appropriation from the legislature to remodel the building to meet the new needs, not to be such a hard side type of a thing, but more of a welcoming and more of a therapeutic type of a atmosphere for not only the parents coming in, the people working there, and then also, of course, for the young people. And we're looking at ages 10 to 18, just to let you know. And one of the things we're looking at is an evaluation center on each side of the main floor that would house 16 people on each side, male, one side, female on the other, for up to 29 days. I think that's the law. And then phase 2 would be more permanent on the upstairs for 32 males and 32 females. So we are looking in mental health type issues. That would be developed as this moves along. So that's what I'd like to do. So that's where I'm going right now. I'll keep everybody on top of that. And I'd like to thank all the people for supporting me. If you have questions, I'm trying to give you some opportunities to come and see me at night, and then hopefully during the day, so that we can work together to make sure. I want to make sure it's transparent for the citizens of Buhl, that they know what's going on at the City Council, why we're doing it, what we're trying to do, so that they feel that they're part of the situation. So that's where I'm at. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, is there support?
Support.
All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried, meeting adjourned.